Greetings, welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host, Jefficho. My co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
So, Chris, why are we doing this on Zoom?
Why are we doing this on Zoom? Corona's popping off around here again, so let's be safe and be kind and all that good stuff. Jeff's coming at you with the much nicer background than me, but such is life, such is 2020. So we're still going to do this. We're going to make use of what we have.
Looks like you got a bar behind you, Chris. You could be having a better time than me right now.
I could. Like I've got who knows what I've got in here? It's water.
Let's talk about Disco Season 3, Episode 6. Yeah. Initial thoughts?
Man, Burnham. I think those are my initial thoughts. Fucking Burnham. She's at it again. We got some consequences this time. I think this all circles back to what I was saying for a few episodes at the start there, where Burnham and Discovery being kept separately is just so much better for both of them. And even Saru is figuring that out. Like he's starting to figure that out.
He was struggling with it. He's like, "Hey Tilly, I was hoping you'd tell me not to do the right thing."
Glad to hear you can cope without your number one, Captain. Because we're having trouble keeping our head above water with old-fashioned diplomacy.
This episode starts out with some bots. Yeah. I enjoy these bots. They're probably the highlight for me.
Bots are cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're little robots. I'm waiting for some human interaction with a bot at some point.
Okay.
Internal systems are getting updated, programmable matter integrated, and cells can now detach for more maneuverability.
I'm really interested to see the ship flying around or doing combat or something like that, and how these detached nacelles are going to look, or what even is the purpose other than looking cool. But we'll find out.
I was really just expecting like a Windows update in the computer system, of which guess what they already have with
Yes.
Now they can do all this other stuff. We see a captain's meeting and everybody's got these different uniforms. I don't know how I feel about them. I'll have to stare at them some more.
Yeah.
All the captains are very shocked about this rapid response thing. Like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys. Discovery can.
Oh yeah, we got a thing. It boops.
And they're all like,
actually,
what?
They like spin and they boop. Space things.
Some new combadges. They're kind of Bajoran-like.
Yes. I think they make a lot of sense. Part of jumping forward 900 years in the future is we can sort of take another look at where we expect technology to go now. Like in the 60s, they had a tricorder and a communicator and like a phaser or whatever. All these were separate things. And now these days, like I have so many different things that are all in this phone now, right? So I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, of course your badge is a tricorder and a pad and a communicator, because why wouldn't you jam all that stuff into one small device?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Doctor Who with his sunglasses that just do everything.
Yeah, sonic sunglasses.
Bye.
Apparently he hasn't adapted yet.
Lieutenant Nielsen, we are being hailed by a vessel outside of the Federation's distortion field.
So the ship gets hailed by Grudge. I like that.
Yes,
this is like,
good kitty.
There's a cat on the view screen. Everybody's like, what the hell? Until he's just like, Grudge?
I was expecting the cat joke, but then I thought like Book would, move the cat out of the way, but no, it was just the cat. It was just the cat. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he programmed his ship. It makes sense.
I like how the ship apparently chose to use whatever, like the terminal or the video feed next to the cat, because I guess like this is the only life form on the ship, so I guess I should use this one.
Book has found a black box. It's the third one, and it might prove that the burn didn't all happen at once. Give us another clue towards it. Maybe it's got some MP3 files, or it can play a song for you.
Today, I saw how vulnerable Federation has become. The Admiral would not be convinced by a cat in a ship.
So Burnham talks to Georgiou. She's all like, hey, like, I need some help, unsanctioned mission. That's what you had her at.
Yeah, it didn't need to continue, but we did a little bit, so that's
Who
fine.
goes to Georgiou
And
for
that was a very
advice?
Georgiou. Yeah, that was a very Georgiou thing to say. Like I don't like her character, but this episode is really showing that they really understand her character and they really understand how to use her. Like if I don't think about who she is, then she was a lot of fun to watch this episode. She was, the actress has figured her character out, the writers have figured her character out. She's firing on all cylinders. I still hate what she represents. I hate her. But she was a lot of fun to watch this episode, which is that was nice at least. I got to enjoy it a bit.
It was fun.
Are you in or out? Georgiou?
You had me at unsanctioned mission.
Burnham's pretty much undermining Saru though when she goes off on things like this, and she didn't even
completely.
tell him. Like if you had told him, he wouldn't have trust issues. Which he should not trust Burnham because everything she does is for the right reason, kind of like Section 31, but just doesn't follow the actual procedures and stuff.
Yes.
So it's not a
I know
trust
better than
issue,
Starfleet.
Saru keeps saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She clearly does.
Yeah, you're right. That is a very Section 31 attitude. Like, I know better than Starfleet. I need to do an end run around on the rules to get this result that's good for Starfleet.
Like, couldn't they just relax and wait till they start that show? Like, you want to have a show where that's going to be the case, then why is it in this show?
I know we're jumping forward a bit, but I was surprised that Saru didn't even try to bring this up to the Admiral, because that, like he said at the end, it's like, he might have okayed that. Like that actually is pretty interesting. Like we have a lead on some intel that might give us, some information about the burn and like why that happened.
He said he might have okayed it, but he also said that they don't have time for that shit, or Burnham said it.
The only reason you're not in the brig is because you saved lives. Am I being clear, Commander Burnham?
Very clear, sir.
I'm surprised he didn't even run it by him. He's like, hey, Admiral, I've got this lead. Like, at least let him make a choice.
Again, I don't think Saru should be captain. First officer, sure, but no, you need somebody with confidence in there. I don't care if he can be angry now and fire things out of his head.
That's not what we were looking for.
No, like, I want to... He shows up with Discovery and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm captain. Who promoted you?
It just kind of happened.
Captain.
Yeah, just don't tell him. Don't tell him. Yeah. You can be whatever rank you want to be.
What?
You said love here.
I said live here.
Love here.
You're not qualified to judge these things. Your emotional spectrum runs from cranky to homicidal. And why are you bringing up Tyler anyway?
So they jumped the Hunhau, and Georgiou points out Mikey's 2-year crush. I like her that she's teasing him because that's always an issue with me and Burnham. Is like. I guess she was emotionally stunted through all the Vulcan stuff, so every relationship she has is like very childlike. It's like, let's hold hands and gaze at each other's eyes. I spent a year with you drinking beer, but we never fooled around. Come on.
I don't know.
I was happy.
Maybe we'll find out in a thing or two about that. Yeah. This whole thing with Georgiou, like I said, I really enjoyed her performance and what her character was doing this episode. It really reminded me of just like, it was sort of like the exact opposite of that episode of Firefly where they go to the Mutter planet and Simon is doing this terrible, terrible job of posing as a buyer, and he's just super hesitant and has no idea what he's doing. Georgiou just beams in. She's like, "You're a moron. Show me where this stuff is, or I won't give you any dilithium. I'm gonna tell your boss that you're a moron, stupid nephew."
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed her just picking on that guy. And then at that one point or whatever, he's like, "You're not even here to trade." Be like, "I'm almost proud of you."
I keep telling you, you're too stupid.
You didn't come here for salvage.
At this point, I'm almost proud it occurred to you.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Good. Gold star.
That's going ahead. We do finally get Tilly versus Grudge. Waiting for this. Unfortunately, it was just what we saw in the trailer. Climbing on her back, going on the thing. She's like, I hate cats. I'm looking forward to Grudge ending up in the Spore Drive, which I know from the trailer he will. So Stamets has to deal with Grudge in his area, and they said that Grudge is going to go all around the ship and cause havoc.
Oh, okay. Is that the main villain for this season, Grudge?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
keeps pooping everywhere. We gave him a
Oh,
litter
no.
box and he doesn't
No.
use
Oh
it.
no, stupid kitty. There's no vets in the future to deal with this.
No. They can travel back in time for a cat vet, just like they did for a whale vet.
Oh, they can do that.
There will be a probe that starts to destroy what's left of the Federation.
Meow.
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 I'm gonna wait for Lower Decks to give me that one.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. I want random animal probes for a Lower Decks episode. It's like the fucking Barnyard Space Agency or something. Yeah,
that'd be good.
No one gets there unless they know where they're going.
On screen.
Yeah, at this point, I totally think Nielsen's getting the first officer job.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I actually, this is making me realize I don't really know what the chain of command is on Discovery, especially now that Non's gone, because I think it probably would have been her. So I guess it could be Nielsen. I think technically maybe it should be Stamets, but they're probably not going to move him out of what he's already doing to be first officer.
I actually I bookmarked it on my computer, a list of all the actual the chain of command or whatever, everybody that's filled out the position. We haven't seen the chief medical officer; she's only been referred to. Haven't seen the chief transporter officer. Yeah, I was just like, maybe we should just do an episode where we just explain the crew of Discovery, because we don't quite know who's running what. Who is chief engineer? I always thought Stamets, but he's Spore Drive boy.
I still think it's supposed to be the other doctor that we see other than Culber. I don't remember what her name is, but I think that's supposed to be the CMO. And at this point, 3 seasons in, I guess they just don't give a fuck and it doesn't matter. Like at this point, we actually see the CMO. It's just going to feel stupid. Like no matter who it is, they can't possibly have been worth 3.5 seasons of wait.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be a character that's a special effect. It's just going to be like gas.
I would love a gaseous character, but again, like if it's that, it'd be like, how have we not heard of the gas character over this much time? Where have you been?
Stays in its little container.
Yeah.
Try to relax. It'll only hurt for a minute.
Get off me, traitor.
We see the prisoners will have implantations. Book's talked to a Bajoran. He's got an Andorian friend who nobody likes because he's had to like kind of help the bad guys and implant everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they test out the head blowing off device, and it works.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Good
that.
little pop.
Book talks to Burnham, says the black box is in his quarters, and they pretty much run around and set up an escape. Book's apparently got everything planned. Seems to handle prison life pretty easy, Book's a strong man and can't break him.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised these black boxes are so hard to come by. Like, how many Starfleet ships have been destroyed, and you've only ever found 3 in 100 years?
Yeah, and they're little cylinders
a black
too.
box. Yeah, a black box is supposed to be like recoverable. That's the function of a black box, is to recover it after a disaster. I don't know. Maybe they were storing these things next to the warp core or something. Like, yes, the location
it's
of
encased in dilithium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in a dilithium box. Okay, so the only black boxes that survived were ones that were like being taken out for testing at the time. Sure.
Come on! Come on!
So yeah, we get an escape. We get a little fight on Book ship with Georgiou and the Orion dude, and she passes out. Chris, she gets these Terran flashes and very violent ones.
I guess these are flashbacks of some kind. I don't know if these are supposed to be things that she's regretting or things that are traumatic for her or what.
Oh well, as violent and bloody as they weren't no Egypt's eye. When they took out Egypt's eye, like that was gore.
That was hardcore. That was a little too hardcore.
But they do manage to deactivate the fence. Everybody gets to a convenient cargo ship, just happened to be there, and They all escaped.
Also, book ship transforming was super cool. Did we know it could do that? I don't know if we knew it could do that.
No, I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna see Discovery do something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I want to know what the hell these detached nacelles are for. Like what's the point?
They invert
maybe
this
do
way.
like, oh yeah, they'll do the Voyager thing. Yeah, so now Discovery is gonna go what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see that from Voyager J, but
oh yeah, what's the J got going on?
it's just gonna be like bunny ears. It's gonna go really high. Back on the ship, we got Adira talking to her ex, and Stamets talking to her, and they relate. It was actually
that
nicest he's ever been.
Adira's thing isn't even that crazy. Like she's like, yes, I have the memories and experiences of all these people inside me, and I'm seeing them.
Well, I'm filling in the blanks a bit, but it sounds like you're holding on to someone you love.
Like that's a little weird, but I literally have this person's memories and personality within me. So it's like I see how that could happen. That sounds like a possible side effect of what you've done.
Especially like considering she's human, there would be side effects.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a perfect.
I mean, she didn't do a ceremony like Ezri, but
yeah, maybe she's got to do the ceremony.
Stamets talks to Hugh about it. There's a good little scene there. You know,
they're always a great couple.
Yeah. They live together, and it's just like, oh, here's this completely like cool relationship that we never really see often.
Yeah, like every time I do see them acting as a couple, I like it. Like the actors are great, and they're being given good material to work with. So yeah, it's always good.
So Mike and Georgiou talk. It's all about her vulnerability, and that it's been going on for a few weeks, ever since Kronberg. What did he do to her?
I did want him back. I need more.
I did like the whole like vulnerability is not weakness in this universe. Like there's definitely some cool Terran like stuff we could learn through her without having to go back to the universe, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, instead of going to the mirror universe, we could just ask her about it. They're like, what do you guys do?
Maybe she could be alone with some children on a deck when the power goes out, and she could tell them a very horrific story.
Oh, okay.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I had one issue with Adira saying you're kind of like the bomb. It's like, oh, you're kind of like a 90s reference.
Yeah, I guess trends are cyclical. That's in now. Whatever.
She's gonna call him on the thing or whatever and just be like, what do you want? What's up?
Vintage.
It's gonna happen.
Vintage humor.
Yeah. So Burnham goes to talk to Vance and firing squad. She also made out with Book in the transport there, going turbo lift.
And we've got this very Orville-esque Linus joke with him just beaming in
I actually
places.
Really appreciated it there because, like, again, this child like stare at each other. We're about to kiss thing, and then Linus jumps in and just be like, "Good, you're kind of making fun of it too."
This is not the science lab.
We have these new badges.
I also remember, like, I want more Linus and Georgiou as well. I want to know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I think she probably just used Linus to get away from that and being observed.
No, they have a relationship. They're in love. I want them.
There was that dinner table thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're in love.
So the Admiral points out Burnham's mission, 100% rogue. Gives her a talking to, but really it's Burnham just saying what he would say, which is all, he's very smart. I know she's saying it, but he's right.
Yeah, no, this is a quality Admiral. He seems to be pretty good at what he's doing.
Well, we'll see what your intel brings, Commander. I will leave it up to you, Captain, to determine the consequences of our insubordination.
Yeah, like we said earlier, like he might have just let them do that.
Yeah.
Like Discovery could have booped, dropped them off there, And then maybe they could have sent a message and been like, "Hey, we're done," and Discovery could pick them back up. It takes 5 minutes.
Well,
5 minutes.
My question is, what are all these ships running on right now? All these other Starfleet ships, are they running on dilithium?
They do have dilithium. Yeah, dilithium is a thing that exists.
And did they poach some from Discovery because of their, extra?
Probably. But it's much, much rarer.
Burnham says the Federation isn't whole and it needs to find out the source of why the burn happened before it can be, and she's not wrong. As we can tell, this is kind of going to be the plot point throughout the whole season. And yeah. Then we got Saru. He has to discipline her, and then he demotes her to the top of another field.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
shades of Kirk getting demoted to captain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you back where you belong instead of busting you down to ensign or some shit.
We're tired of you going rogue, Admiral, and saving the universe, so you go captain and save it.
Yeah, you can be a captain so you can go rogue and save the universe.
Yeah, I tell you, I think, they won't mention it because Disco doesn't like to mention things, but Nielsen's going to be acting first officer for a bit.
As of now, you're relieved of your duty as my number one. You will restrict yourself to Chief Science Officer duties only.
Maybe. That's reasonable. Like, she's been getting lines and camera and that sort of thing.
I was listening to Frakes or whatever the other day talk about his tree episode and visiting Earth, and he's just like, we tried to do a full circle where it's just like, oh, like Nielsen's gonna be down on the tree later and being all excited to see Earth, and we can't just be like, oh, look, here's a Discovery crew member who's excited to see Earth you don't know anything about. So I made sure to give her some lines at the start of it and some camera time, so later when you're just like, oh, there she is again, of which I've noticed they've done a really good job of that this season, where it's just like, we're going to give these people lines so that you care later when something happens, which is what I was
like even
for those first 2 seasons.
Do we really need all of this?
Hell yeah, we do.
It's adaptive. Learns and adjusts your reflexes to create an interface style unique to you.
Even like, what was this episode? Reese and who's the other random guy on the Discovery Bridge?
I don't know the names.
Reese and the other random guy on the Discovery Bridge, they were talking like, hell yeah, we need these upgrades. The upgrades are dope, or whatever. Like, whatever those two guys are talking about.
Of course, it's Detmer. He's a little bothered by it because, technology. It's got to learn some new buttons or something.
Yeah.
And then next week we get Vulcans, Chris. They better be fucking unified with the Romulans, because I've been waiting centuries.
Yes.
And of
That's
course,
like
Burnham's
500-year-old
gonna bring them
right?
back to the Federation. It's gonna happen.
Standard Burnham.
So that's the episode. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts are still fucking Burnham. Fucking Burnham every time with this girl. Get your shit together, Burnham. Get your shit together. Yeah, I really hoping this. I still liked what was happening this episode. I haven't been just sort of rolling my eyes like I was during previous seasons. There's a lot more to like in season 3. I think I really want them to find a better place for Burnham, because like I said, the show fires, like the Discovery works so much better when she's not there. And she works so much better when she's not on Discovery. Like, her and Georgiou were great. She wasn't on Discovery, and she didn't have to try and pretend to act like a Starfleet officer. And
we didn't get much of it, but I really want to see her and Book gallivanting around for a while.
Yeah, sure. Do that. But I don't think that's what this show wants to be. I think this is the Michael Burnham show, and it's Discovery, and she's gonna need to end up being on Discovery, but I hope something changes in some capacity where they can both be stronger, because I feel like when you put them together, you're getting a weaker product. But overall, yes, this episode was still good.
Did you eat her? Computer, scan shuttle bay for Cleveland Booker's ship.
Unable to locate.
Yeah, we're pretty far along, and the season still looks great. I think I'm pretty comfortable saying this is the best Discovery season so far. I think at this point I'd started to have serious doubts about the previous seasons. This far along, my doubts had come creeping in, but I'm still excited. I'm still enjoying this. I think this is the best Discovery's ever looked, and I want to learn more about this mystery and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see where we end up at the end of the season if everything just gets reset or something.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm liking the mystery of this universe. Like, there's so much to learn. 900 years. Now I'm just like, what are the Klingons doing on all this?
What are the Klingons doing? What do they look like? Change them again. I dare you. Do it. Do it.
It'll happen. It will happen. Like,
you can't hurt me anymore. Just do it.
Did they ever have to deal with the Borg again? Like anything like that?
Oh yeah, what are the Borg doing? What's that going on?
You never know. There's so many races to touch on, and where the universe is. But I guess they have to rebuild the Federation, and maybe that's how we're going to get introduced to how everything gets touched on. I will say Burnham and Book being on a separate ship is very Andromeda-like, because you had Andromeda, Chris, and then you had their smuggler friend who was also a captain, and they would always work together. In fact, that ship would go inside that ship, and they would all hang out on the bridge. So another comparison for you, Chris. Watch Andromeda. Okay. Those first few seasons will be painful.
Intrigued. Like if that's how Discovery ends up going, with just like the crew of Book and Burnham being on their own little thing that hangs out in their shuttle bay and does loosely associated missions with Discovery, I think that would be better. I think that would make a better show.
Honestly, if they followed the formula of Andromeda and they did that, and then at some point maybe Saru gets killed, and then like Burnham's been helping out so much to just like, maybe you're ready now to be a captain of a Federation ship, then that'd be a better path than like, chief science officer constantly doing shit for herself. She's not going to change. This has been her like since the start.
She's been getting Burnhamier, right? like this whole year alone has not made her more Starfleet.
No.
So what does this cat-loving friend have that made you fall for him like a 2-year-old on the edge of a well?
Excuse me?
The Tyler thing ended in disaster. Surprise, surprise.
So yeah, no, that'd be another direction, because they did say she would eventually become captain. We would follow her through her journey, of which, here's their swerve. They give it to Saru. We were like, oh shit, they're gonna give it to Burnham next. No, here's Saru. It's like, okay, so he's gonna die. Or get his Voyager
I
J
will
ship.
say, yes, I will say that like other Star Trek characters have done worse shit and not been demoted or faced consequences for it. Like we all know what Cisco, like annihilating that whole planet to get at Eddington. Nobody even mentioned that again. Nobody said a damn thing to Cisco about that.
He deleted the logs, just like when he blew up those Romulans to get him in the war.
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so Cisco's done some shit. Worf went back and saved Jadzia, and I guess like apparently he's not allowed to be promoted now, but he didn't suffer any immediate consequences.
Captain of the Enterprise, Chris. He is official canon captain.
Apparently,
of the Enterprise. It's in the book.
Until they actually show us the Enterprise in Picard. I believe you, but they keep saying those books are canon and then immediately contradicting them when it's convenient. So whatever.
Yeah, true that.
I think other than the Kirk demotion, I think the only other person who's actually faced consequences like this in Star Trek history would be Tom Paris. Can you think of anyone else that's been actually demoted for doing stupid shit?
No, Riker.
Riker?
Yeah,
What'd Riker do?
he was captain of the Enterprise, and then he saved Picard, and then he got back to first officer.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
That's a demotion. There was that Pegasus episode where like, there's going to be some hard questions, but no, nothing ever happened. Beverly, kind of, when she went rogue.
Oh no, she was expecting to get demoted or
she resigned.
Yeah, but she resigned before that could happen. Yeah.
Well, how about when she went rogue and went to the planet Scotland and resigned?
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we do. It's awesome.
You're not Nana. Nana's dead. Leave her alone!
Good episode. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, good episode. We're keeping along with like I said, this definitely Discovery's strongest season. So yes, more. Keep doing what you're doing, please. Yeah, I think they've got something figured out here.
Yeah, I don't think they have the Star Trek formula figured out, because I'm not sitting back going, oh, I'm gonna watch some Star Trek. They'll put on Discovery, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna watch some sci-fi show that references Star Trek a lot and has a tiny bit of a Star Trek feel, but does its own thing. That's Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's watchable. I mean, if you go back, like, what has been rewatchable for Discovery? I'm gonna say this season probably, and some Pike.
Oh yeah, Pike's good.
Yeah, cool. Well, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.